In episode 7, Dr. Cardoza does as he's told. He makes the virus more contagious, and it's bad. I mean, this thing, if it gets out, would likely wipe out Soups and make their life and death really, really painful. It's not fun. And because of that, he's conflicted. He doesn't want to go forward with this. But Dean Shetty not only wants to make it more contagious, she wants to make this thing airborne. She wants all of the Soup population to eventually get it. Dr. Cardozo doesn't want to have that blood in his hands, so he mentions getting Vought involved. But Dean Shetty reminds him, you're the one who invented this. I mean, this is your pet project. How would Vought feel about that? Let's not get Vought involved. Let's just finish what you started. She has to walk away from Cardozo because she gets a phone call from Kate. And Kate tells her she really, really needs to talk to her at the moment. But Dean Shetty says, crap, I have a meeting in the city I can't get out of. Just go to my house, lay low, and I'll meet you back there. By the way, did you take your medicine? And Kate tells her, yeah. Dean Shetty says, great. Take another one. It'll make you feel better. I'll be there soon. But Kate was actually at a diner with Jordan, Marie, and Andre. They were trying to set something up because this was all orchestrated and part of a plan that Kate wanted to do to get back in the good graces of her friends. Kate fills everybody in on what happened with the Shetty conversation, but nobody believes her. And she knows this because she can read their minds and she can tell that none of them believe her. Because of that, Andre is going to go with her. But the group as a whole is really frustrated about the situation. Tensions are high, especially with Jordan. Marie has to remind Jordan we need Kate. She's the only way to get Shetty to expose the woods. But Jordan has another idea. He's Shetty's TA. He's got the key to her office. And with Shetty in the city all day, he feels like he can sneak into her office and get the proof that they need to expose the woods. And Marie likes the idea, but she knows that because it's coming from them, no one's going to believe them. What they need to do is get it in the hands of somebody who they will believe. And it just so happens that that certain somebody is coming to campus. It's Victoria Newman. She's doing a town hall. The two then head off to Shetty's office to get the proof that they need. They start snooping around in different files. But there's one interesting file that they find. It's a whole file on Transatlantic Flight 37. That was the plane that Queen Maeve actually wanted to save everybody, but Homelander decided against it, and the plane was destroyed. They claimed that there was terrorists. Well, it turns out that Dean Shetty's husband and her 11-year-old daughter were on that plane. And that is the motivation behind what she's doing. Of course, Marie and Jordan, they don't know exactly what happened on the plane, and before they can really dive into the file, they hear the door opening, so they have to hide. And it was Dr. Cardoza coming in to drop a file off on Dean Shetty's desk. But he's also drunk and venting. Having no idea that Marie or Jordan are hiding, he starts talking aloud, just venting to nobody about the Shetty situation, but he couldn't pick worse words for these two girls to hear. He starts out by saying, you want me to increase the viral infection rate. Killing them all, she says. Yeah, sign my own death certificate. It's all these little pieces of the puzzle that leave both Marie and Jordan with enough ammo to go to Victoria Newman and say, hey, something's going on. Now, while those two were trying to find proof of the woods, Kate and Andre headed to Shetty's house to lay low. Andre still really hurt about what Kate did, but it's not like he wants to stay mad at her. They turn on the TV because they've got some time to kill, and they're pretty surprised because Andre's dad, Pilardi, is on the TV. He's going to be hosting the town hall with Victoria Newman, and it's something that Andre had no idea about. And Kate's really surprised about that he was left in the dark. She says, didn't your dad tell you he was doing this? And Andre has to come clean that him and his dad haven't talked since he mentioned the woods and his dad tried to shut him down. But then, all of a sudden, that TV interview goes sideways. Pilardi seems to have a seizure live on air, and Andre gets really, really concerned. The feed goes dark, but Andre's close enough to campus where he knows where his dad is. So he rushes, and he gets there just in enough time to see his dad getting loaded into the ambulance. So, of course, Andre jumps in there with him. But as Pilardi is having these seizures, he's inadvertently bringing all this metal inside, basically turning the ambulance into an implosion device. And Andre's doing his best to not allow that to happen, but it's really difficult because Pilardi's really strong. So because of this, Pilardi's not going to be able to host that town hall meeting. Amazingly, one person in attendance is Sam, who was hiding out in Emma's dorm room, but when she left to go get him some food, curiosity got the best of him. He heard some commotion outside, and he ended up linking up with a couple other students, one of them being Rufus. Sam at this point is so gullible that he kind of just believes anything. So when Rufus tells him that Emma is going to be at this party, Sam just buys it, and they don't go to a party. They go to this town hall meeting. And Rufus is one of the anti-Victoria Newman people. Because Newman tries to point out that soup lives matter, but everybody's life matters. With a lot of the student body feeling like because they're soups, they're more important. Needless to say, the town hall gets a little feisty, and they have to get Victoria Newman out of there. As security is trying to usher her out, Marie, who is able to sneak into the building, gets her attention by saying, "There's something I have to tell you." And Victoria recognizes Marie right away as the guardian of Godolkin, so she's more than happy to sit down and chat. When they get alone, though, Marie's not able to even get into the topic because Victoria is doing such a good job at complimenting her, mainly on her power and how it's so cool, mentioning how she can sense things in others that other people can't. And she challenges Marie to do that with her, and when Marie does it, she realizes that there's compound V coursing through Victoria Newman's veins. That's when Victoria reveals to Marie her superpower is the exact same. She can control blood. She also tells Marie that it was her who got Marie into Godolkin in the first place. Because she had been where Marie was, she knew the deck was stacked against her and she wanted to help her out. All of this being a lot for Marie to take in. But Victoria finally asks, "What did you want to talk to me about?" And that's when Marie tells her all about the woods. She even brings up Dr. Cardoza, saying, "You can go ask him. You have to bring up what Vought is doing here." Victoria tells her she'll handle it and that Marie should just go back to being a student, but Marie can't. And Victoria has to slap her out of it, saying this is your one shot at controlling your life, because when you go to Red River, you don't have a shot to get out. This is it. You want to make change? Get into the 7. That's how you make change. Being the Guardian Godolkin, that's nothing. That's a PR gimmick. But if you make waves now, Vaught's going to do nothing but ship you off to the adult facility. Victoria then leaves and Marie checks her phone and she's got a message from Kate saying, "Come to Shetty's." Shortly after Andre left, Shetty did show up. That meeting that she had in the city, it was with Grace Mallory. Shetty figured that Grace, being anti-soup, was the perfect person to team up with to get this virus out there. She came to Mallory because she knows that Mallory knows where to find all the soups, even the ones that Vought doesn't know about. And she wants to neutralize soups once and for all. But Mallory isn't about to do that. She tells Shetty, "What you're doing is a war crime." Shetty, though, starts arguing that they are in a war. Mallory tells Shetty that there's a guy that works for her who has the same rage towards soups. It's consumed him so much that there's basically nothing left of him. And she warns Shetty that she doesn't want to go down that road. So just take this virus and get rid of it. Of course, Dean Shetty doesn't really have any plans on doing that and walks away from Grace pretty unsatisfied. Once she's out of earshot, Grace pulls out her cell phone and asks the person on the other end, "Did you get all that?" "All right, well, keep an eye on her." Once Shetty got back to her house and talked to Kate, she realized that Kate hadn't been taking her medication, and Kate's mood had completely changed. Kate then sent that group chat to everybody. Now, with Andre busy with his dad in the hospital, Marie, Jordan, Emma, who finally found Sam, and Sam all head over to Shetty's place. They're pretty surprised because when they walk into the living room, there's Kate and Shetty. But Kate lets them know that using her abilities, she's now controlling Shetty. And she tells Shetty, "Tell them what you told me." Shetty tells all of them that Godolkin was built by a scientist who was tasked with trying to find out what makes soups tick. These kids aren't here to study. The school is there to study them. She then brings up the virus and admits that she wants this thing to spread across the globe. And the reason for that is because Homelander killed her entire family on that plane. And she's out for revenge. The Homelander revelation shocks the entire room. But they also don't feel like they should be being punished because of what he did. And Shetty is painting with a broad brush. She also tells him that her last assignment for Kate was to kill everybody in the woods. And Jordan says, "Oh my God, did you do that?" And Kate says, "No, I'm trying to prove to you that I'm on your side. Don't you guys see? We have to strike first, starting with her." Now, Shetty begs for her life, but it doesn't matter Kate says, "It's time." And Shetty pulls up a meat cleaver that's been sitting there. All the kids are begging Kate to make it stop, but she doesn't. And Shetty cuts her own throat. Jordan jumps into action, trying to get the blood to stop, and Marie could make it stop with her powers, but Kate won't allow it. A few seconds later, it's clear that Dean Shetty is dead. And Marie asks, "Kate, do you know what you've done?" And Sam says, "Justice." Because Sam, he's on Kate's side. But while the kids were finding out the truth, Victoria Newman was busy getting the virus. She covertly met with Dr. Cardoza, and he handed it over, telling her that all he asked was him and his family be taken care of. He didn't want to be hunted down by Vought. And she assured him that that would be the case. But when she got possession of the virus, using her powers, his head went pop. And now the virus belongs to Victoria Newman. Thank you so much for checking out this recap. Please consider subscribing to the channel and subscribing to my Patreon. Hit thumbs up if you liked it. Smash that thumbs down button if you thought it sucked. If you left a comment, I don't get back to you. I usually don't check the comments unless they're like a super comment. Also, if you don't see the next video up on the end screen, not to worry, it'll be up in a day or two.